was it, Buffett? Namgeligila Bako Pop Radio. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys coming through and staying abreast with what's happening with the show every week and with our guests as well. We wouldn't be nothing without you, and we mean that in a serious way.
Yeah.
So, Unjanwen?
I'm fine. So, yeah, I'm really happy to be back. I'm happy to be sharing stories. I'm excited about who we're going to be chatting to today because it's not a typical artist. I think that's what people always kind of expect from us on Pop Radio. So it's nice to kind of get a different view on things. Yeah. And I think that's what we're going to get today because Lerato is one person who has been in the industry for a long time and has seen from the beginning, well, not necessarily beginning, but when things were not so internet savvy to what they are today, and to still be relevant in her space is going to be really interesting. So I want to, pick her brain just a little bit about that.
No doubt. Before we do that, though, we go through our usual ritual of talking about whatever we need to talk about, newsworthy that's happening, and music, of course. And you are definitely more well-versed in what's happening in the music scene than I am at this very moment in time. So, anything that you've been listening to?
Somebody who I've definitely kept my eye on for a long time, and I think also because when VG actually mentioned him the first time, I think I was also just like, okay, he's submitting to me, but I don't know if I'm listening to this. Also, to be fair, I think everybody listens to different types of hip hop. You know what I mean? And he's a very underground type of I do my boom bap raps type of rapper, which is cool. Not really my type because I'm a hip hop DJ. I want to twerk and, dance in the club. Yeah. But I've really been enjoying Sipho the Gift.
Sure.
He recently dropped a project. It's called Low Tuck, which is... I forgot what the acronym stands for, but basically it's talking about his story as the underground king. And what I'm loving about the stories is that he's also getting a lot more personal with the stories. He's got a really awesome song called Nkanyezi featuring A$AP Shembe, which I've been bumping on the radio, really enjoying it. Please do go and check out the project as well. And he's just recently announced that he's going to be a dad for the first time. Crazy. He's been married for a while. Everyone knows he's that married rapper who just does his thing. But now he's excited about the fact that he's going to be a father. So I'm keen to actually hear how the music is going to transcend with this new journey of his.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about music as such, but I'm going to talk about someone who used to do music and was an actor. He became an actor after that, and then a full-on entrepreneur. On YouTube, there is a 6-part series that just came out some time ago. Will Smith. It's called The Best Shape of My Life.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything. Go check it out. Just go to the YouTube cursor, search, type Best Shape of My Life, Will Smith. It's 6 parts. Doesn't take up too much of your time or your month or whatever, or your week. It's something worth checking out. Yeah. It really impressed me,
Yeah, I think I caught snippets of it. I haven't really watched the full 6-part series, but I saw a trailer of it. Yeah. And I understand exactly what he's trying to do. And I think for somebody like Will Smith, who's achieved so much in his career, for him to still then say there's more that I can do, I know it's crazy. But crazy. Yeah, it will challenge you. And I think that's what's important for us to kind of learn from that as well.
All right, cool. Thank us later. And let's get to our guest.
Let's get to it. Lerato Licious coming up.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to it. I think this is a proper introduction. It's Pop Radio, and as we do on the regular, we try to give you guys engaging conversation with some key figures, not only in the entertainment industry on the front line, but also on the back end of things, whether it be marketing, publicity, management, publishing, and so on and so forth, And to continue in that vein, we've got a lady with us here today who's been involved in extensive work from PR to managing influencers to managing brands, to now being involved politically and socially in issues that affect women and all sorts of things of the like. Lerato, what's up?
How you doing, y'all?
Miss Lerato Licious.
Fam. How y'all doing?
We're good. You look amazing. I do love the color coordination. I love the glasses.
The Dior's, yes.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Right off the bat, Lerato. Okay, shout. Now we know.
It's really, really cool. The tint. I can see your eyes, but yet, if you've smoked, I don't see that they red.
Do you know what I'm saying? Purpose.
It's very necessary. The gradient.
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
So how you been, Cosmo?
I'm nice. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have our guest with us today.
I'll say
And I-
muhle.
oh,
Yambo.
thank you. Oh, babes.
Lash ring.
Hey. The longer the lash.
The closer to God.
I mean, honestly, because I didn't know where I was going with that. I won't lie. I'm glad you caught it.
Oh, that's what good publicists do.
There you go.
Go on.
Yeah,
Open situations.
Umbambile. Thanks.
We'll keep that in mind. The longer the lash, the closer to God.
Yes.
But right now, we're trying to be closer with you guys with some great content, as of course, as I've said. So we're going to start from the beginning, Lerato. You know, when Dimples put your name forward for this, he was like, we really need someone to talk about the PR of things. And we haven't had someone who can speak about the things auxiliary to the artist.
Yeah.
And you've had, we're gonna get to the points as we go on, but Mankale Kaleni. And you didn't mention it in your bio, which is something that I'm really mad about. You didn't mention your PR history.
Because it's so extensive, there's
Yeah.
not enough space on a A4 page.
Oh, you didn't want to type it out?
No, it's just there's practically nothing that I haven't done
Okay.
within the entertainment and lifestyle PR space. So I thought we'd chat about it more than list my
list it.
credentials.
Showcase.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Showcase.
Yeah.
But I was surprised to find out you're on Big Brother.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. I just
Two
know about
Are you
Big
for
Brother.
real?
I swear, dog.
I did 2 seasons.
She even
Whoa.
went. She even went back. You know, sometimes you'll go and then you'll be like, "Ay, why did I do this thing? Ay, okay, maybe when I get out, I'll just stay home." Oh, sisters, I'm going back.
It was an all-star season.
Yeah.
I'm the one and only South African all-star voted by the continent.
Yes.
So I had to come back, you know what I'm saying? Because I represent a new age Black African female, which
No
is
doubt.
which is what the continent was not used
What
to.
year
in
was
the
this?
The first year was, I think, 2006.
And the All-Star year?
was 2010.
Okay, cool. 2010 was a beautiful year.
Yes.
Philippe.
Yo.
Everything.
We were
was a
just
beautiful
happy.
year.
Yeah, joys.
Can we go back? Take us back.
Yeah, because 2020, 2021 is not the one. We're not
Because now
sure.
We've got a new variant and all sorts of things. We'll get to that.
We're not happy. We're not happy. But Big Brother obviously is one of those experiences that I think only a select few people have had because we haven't had another season, I think, since then in
Yeah.
South Africa. I know it's still happening in Nigeria, but not necessarily in SA.
I think they've been contemplating on bringing it
I
back,
think
as I've
it's
seen.
coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was Africa, which is the biggest stage.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah,
Lerato.
yeah.
I'm joking. All right. So with that experience, obviously going in there, you were going in just to kind of see what could happen. Because I think when you sign up for an experience like this, you don't really know what you're signing up for until you're inside. And then you're like, hey, okay, as Kyle magic because we must do the thing. What were some of the experiences and the lessons that you learned from both times being in the house?
To tell you the truth, even the first time, I didn't want to go into Big Brother. It was sort of like a bait between me and my best friend Sunshine. Like, oh, let's see how far we can go.
Sunsheezy.
You know? And we just they kept calling me for the next level. And I was just like, yo, you're either going to take me as I am. I'm not going to try and be like something that you guys are going to, think is palatable for. One day I'm in Greenside on my 10th tequila and I get a call. They're like, yo, you have been select. I'm like, select? I'm joking.
Yeah.
Hung up. The next thing I was in there with like 12 strangers from all over the continent with different beliefs, different ways of viewing things, different life experiences. And what it's taught me is that, number one, I'm definitely stronger than I thought I was.
Yes.
Because to survive, I think in total, both seasons, I did like 150 days in total.
That's crazy. Being away from your family, being on
it
camera.
was my phone.
Phone.
The
phone.
My phone was the first one. And with the cameras, after maybe 2 days,
Yeah.
you forget that they're there.
Okay.
You're just worried about, can I get cigarettes? Can I get liquor, man?
Yeah.
Like, those kind of things were my biggest worries, honestly.
Weed?
What's that?
Can you get weed in there?
You probably can.
But has there been anyone who has smoked in there?
I don't know about smoked, but ate, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Okay. Oh, yeah. But do they have like a smuggling test before you get into
they
their
do
dogs?
firstly, they do all types of tests.
Sure.
Drug test,
Yeah.
everything, right?
Crazy.
STDs, because people hook up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then they check your bag. Like, there is nothing that is not checked when you go in there. Because, we could shank each other, whatever.
Yeah.
And at some point, it could get really dangerous, But, it was a great experience. I met so many amazing people who are still friends till today.
Nice.
And I didn't understand the impact of the show until I travel outside of SA.
Yeah.
It's like massive. I mean, it's almost 10 years, more than 10 years since I did the very last one. And I swear, like, people still like, yo, look, they go nuts. And I'm just like,
No.
weirded out because it's like, you know, I was just there being myself. And I didn't think that just me being me would motivate so many women to just live in their truth and be like, yo, I don't have to be what everyone expects me to be. I'm a modern Black African woman. Therefore, I can be as
how
dope as I
tough is
want.
it to be this modern Black African woman, guys? Because, hey, man, how tough is this thing? Because as niggas, I mean,
Ningamachita nje.
singamajita.
You just
I mean,
exist.
it's tough being a nigga, but only because of the pressures of having to be successful, because now there's so much opportunity and so many Black men have the story from nothing to something with music, entertainment, blah, 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 blah. This whole having to be excellent at everything. We also have it, right? Mm-hmm. And racism and. But what we don't have is...
Let me
the fight
break
that
it,
you
let
guys
me
have.
break it down for you. We have all of that you've just counted.
Yeah.
And then within our Black men, we still have so much oppression from them, so much expectations from Black families, so much patriarchy. We have to give birth to children. You know, whether you want a child or not, it's expected of you. You need to run a home. You need to be successful. Some people, you even need to look a certain way.
For sure.
You need to, we carry the society on our backs
And
as Black women.
No doubt.
And it's literally a little bit of everything, because if it's not all of that you're carrying, on top of that, you need to be successful, you need to look a certain way, you need to do all these things. But then at home, you must still, uzithobe, you must be, hey,
Nakuba
baba wasekhaya,
you also
kumele
just did,
upheke.
you know what I mean?
What if I don't want to cook? Do you know what I mean? Now it's shunned upon me because I'm full.
Because you want to be Uber
namapoto.
eating fast,
Oh,
quickly.
please,
You
I
know
can
what I'm
pay for it.
That's the thing. So
And
it's
what's how do you come out the house? What's the blanket you guys wear when you come out the house then? Like, how do you set yourself up for the day on a
our
regular?
balls. Our balls are bigger than men's. That's what y'all need to understand.
Hey,
Because we go out there every day. Don't forget also South Africa has the highest rate of GBV. So the fact that you have a vagina, you're already fucked.
Yes.
You're already in danger, you know. Go garage, you're pouring petrol, you're doing groceries in the office, in a Uber.
And mind you,
Do you know what I'm saying?
you guys
So-
do give birth to the men that
That-
actually end up becoming the pillar or the status symbol of that success. You know what I mean? In terms of like the country,
Yeah.
in terms of like even
Yeah.
the world, you know?
Yeah.
And no nigga doesn't come from a woman.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yet we're
That
treated
measure
the
of
worst.
whatever we think is whatever we want to think, it's coming from imfundiso zenu
Yes.
as women.
Yet you
Well,
guys-
some of y'all, hold on, hold the fuck on. It's some of y'all. And I just want to ask this as well. With all that you've said, do you guys sometimes go out, meet people, have conversations or whatever, where you like, okay, damn, like there are some real niggas still around. There is a little bit of hope.
Yeah, they absolutely is. But you know, you have to kiss like 10 billion frogs to find your prince.
Hey.
And sometimes arinanako, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, okay, let's just go have a girls' night. Let's go
Exactly.
spend our money that we made for
No,
ourselves.
I wasn't even meaning in a romantic
No,
term.
I'm just saying like just overall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just there are some real niggas, but we don't like. How do you know? How do you know? When I meet you, I think you're a real nigga. You're a good one. How jigaka corner? Can't you've got some other weird shit that you're doing to women? Do you know what I'm saying? So normally, I know with my girlfriends, we just hang together, the girls and the gays, and then happy drunk, stress free. I know a gay's not gonna vandalize me, you know, touch me inappropriately.
because they're
all that
also
stuff.
sensitive. They're also
Yes.
worried about being out. They're also worried
Yes.
about being vandalized and whatever the case may be. So it's a very tricky society that we're living in.
Yeah.
Yeah, heavy one. But it's conversations that need to be had, especially
Yeah.
in the environments that we are in, you know? And actually in every environment. But moving forward, let's get back to the work. You
Yes.
know, you talked about
Yes.
your PR history being
Yeah.
quite extensive.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've got the 2000s in here. We've got all sorts of age groups in here. For those who are not familiar, you know, let them know and let us know as well. Refresh our memory on that PR history, and also how did it begin?
I graduated
Been
in
talking with some graduates this time, boy. People been going to school out
marketing,
here, boy.
communication, and PR.
need
And
a-
copywriting.
Where's the soundbite? Where's the soundbite volume? Where can I turn down the
here,
sound?
it's
Is
here,
this on?
it's here, it's
It's
that
a bit
one.
loud in the ear, ne?
Slightly.
Kancane, kancane.
We need a button that's another one.
Showcase.
Because as we keep going, we get another one.
Definitely. It also shows that Natim Shampe. Now you went to school.
Hey.
I went to school nyana.
School like they say,
School nyana.
parallel to school, but not. Oh,
I
with
definitely
you.
didn't graduate.
As long as you registered at this stage, that's what matters.
Step one.
Ungenile,
So I
okay.
graduated and I immediately went into marketing and advertising. I started off as a copywriter. And I mean, even then I was thrown into the deep end because I was one of very few black females, you know. First year I was already working on McDonald's, Mercedes-Benz,
Hey.
Procter and Gamble. It was really,
Yo.
really a lot, you know. And due to how the industry was then, I just knew that advertising and its culture was not for me. I didn't want to turn into something that I'm not.
Why does everybody have that notion about advertising? Like, the more I speak to different people, because obviously being in a creative space, PR is one thing, marketing is one thing. Advertising has this dark cloud around it for some weird reason. Like, there's a lot of people who say they're in it, but then they're like, oh, it's toxic, it's not for me.
It is.
It's almost like entertainment, not?
Yeah. Except more like it's like clients, whiteness, your own black people. It's just, it is extremely toxic. And I think it probably has the highest rate of people with mental issues. Because deadlines, like they don't
Substance
care.
abuse
They
things.
really, substance abuse was one of the big reasons why I had to leave. They don't care. You just need to do great work, win awards, get back at it. It's
And
a
don't
hamster
sleep.
wheel. What is sleep?
What is sleep?
What is sleep? So I was like, no, nyeke ngizofela kule desk,
Yeah.
you know? And I left and then I was headhunted to be at the SABC corporate comms because my writing was that good. And I also did eventing. And then actually I stumbled into PR because I'm very good with relationships and maintaining relationships and having media relationships. And once I came out of Big Brother, I then knew more media people. And obviously my writing was very attractive to a lot of people. And that's sort of where it started. And it's just snowballed. I mean, I've worked with artists like, I think my favorite, apart from my husband, was Lady Smith Black Mamba. So for me, that was
nice.
like, you know, one of those things that are just like life-changing, that they hue, oh my God, steam it. Like for me, those are the
caliber of artists are
like
crazy.
the icon, the legend, like those are the things I enjoy working on. And obviously a lot of more popular urban artists, but working with icons like that, for me, is something that's like life-changing. Like I can't even... You know what I mean? That's what matters to me. And then obviously I went on to work with brands and do brand innovation and
I was very like, sorry, I haven't.
No, it's okay. You can go.
Yeah, I was very like impressed. Speaking of brand work, you and Rodesang.
yes,
With what's your company called, by the way?
Roth Media.
Showcase. Why that name?
Long story. Merging of two names.
Okay, sharp.
We need a whole episode for that one. Yeah.
I'm just so into etymology, so I like the breakdown of things. But I feel you. I was really impressed with the work you did with Mom.
Yes.
Like for real.
Yeah.
Just talk but continue with the brand work that we're going to be talking
Okay,
about.
so GH Mum is literally one of my really favorite brands. And it wasn't because I started working on it. It was my champagne of choice for my 30th birthday. And I only started working on it maybe 4 or 5 years later. So it was something that I was really into. And what happened was I went to the Met. It was called the JNB Met or whatever at the time. And I was invited by them. And I was not impressed by what I saw for a champagne brand. Like there was nothing luxurious about anything that was offered there, you know? And I told the brand team, all right, guys, this is not it. And they're like, okay, cool, come through and pitch. We went through with a deck this big. We didn't sleep for days because we knew what we wanted. We knew what we wanted to do with the brand. We were 2 black females already. So already it was, we were coming in on a back foot. But what we do know is luxury. For sure.
Showcase.
What we do know is eventing. What we do know is PR. What we do know is strategy. And that's what we went in with. And that's how we won the account. The next year, the next Sunmet, it was a world of difference.
Yeah.
And
I remember.
everyone was just like, wow, we didn't think this was possible. And again, even then, we had sleepless nights because we had a point to prove.
Nice one.
We had a point to prove, and we proved it year after year after year after year. And one of my favorite things, apart from raising the bar on, because I mean, it's Africa's richest race.
Yeah.
It's got eyes all over the globe. You know what I'm saying? But my favorite thing that I did on the brand was get Somizi his own limited edition bottle of Demisec with his signature on, which had never been done. The only other person who has that was Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
So you understand the magnitude. And even then, we had to fight. We had to justify. Sleepless nights, fights in France. Like, when we believe in something, we'll fight until we get it.
Sure.
And it was very important for me to localize things. France, States, we have our own way of doing things, and we need to celebrate our own.
And was that why it was also so important for you to get some of the ambassadors for you guys to go to France, like you had mentioned, to actually go and experience it firsthand?
Yes. So I also insist on doing shoots for the brand where the brand comes from, because I'm bringing a touch of Africa to that space.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put people in like fucking coattail suits. No, we're getting local designers to custom make stuff that we're going to shoot in a chateau in the middle of France, which is the same thing we did for Martel, where we took Reason and Hayden, you know, and even those people that are selected, then it was very intentional.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So now I love localizing international stuff.
Nice.
I don't want to like sell ourselves short, because we are amazing, we're colorful, we're bright, we're vibrant, we are everything.
Yeah.
You know, so I just feel like I wish actually more brands did that, and more brands sort of celebrated who we are and fought for it, because it's not easy. You have to fight for it, and then not give mandwa.
I see that, but obviously now having moved on from GH Mom, because you
Is it mom?
It's mom.
GH Mom.
My bad, mom.
Yes. So you had moved on from that, and you then took on a space as the head of Humans.
Yes.
And I think for a lot of people who don't necessarily still know what Humans is as an application, but it's also kind of helping up and coming influencers to get themselves out there, because you're not always on the radar of everybody. And I think it's such an amazing app. What are some of the things that you're also...
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was an app.
It is an app. So, okay, finish your question.
My
so
question
I can answer both
was,
of y'all.
what are some of the things that you're trying to do to make it a bigger thing, so that influencers, because that's our current currency at the moment. And I'm saying that for everybody, even if you're a celebrity, everyone's making money off of content creation, because we can't be outside.
Absolutely.
We can't be on stages. So they're poster and we're hoping to make money. What are you trying to change from a content creation type of scope? Because now we're in a different space where PR back then was very traditional compared to what it is now, where everything is social media, everything is on the internet. We're not necessarily just saying, okay, go to SABC and do an interview.
Yeah. I think, you know, for me it was important because when influencer marketing started, I was already in it. Cool. So what it did is it almost moved from being, you know, you had ambassadors for brands to making it more accessible to everyday people, right? So already by the time I was chosen to run this agency, which is part of a whole global network, I was already on the forefront of the industry, you know, so I already knew how it worked. I already knew what works, what doesn't. Now, the biggest problem when I went in there, what I wanted to solve was not using the same people over and over again for all campaigns, because how is the industry supposed to grow?
It also gets a bit boring from a viewing perspective.
Tedious.
Yes.
And it's not believable.
It's not.
I can't believe, because of the rate of people, the way they have to get the bag and the amount of products under them. It's like, come on, man! Like, you don't really like use
and
that
you know
ish,
what's
or you're really not passionate about
the
that
problem
product.
with that is that brand managers think they know,
but
they don't.
That's their problem.
But the thing is, they're the ones that sign my checks for my campaigns, and they say, no, we do not want Scoop. And I'm like, trust me, guys, trust me. He is the nigger for this thing. No, but Scoop, one of his followers are low. I'm like, just trust me, because he is authentic.
Showcase.
That is always my thing. I will never pick someone based on just their numbers. I have to believe that you drink a certain thing or you go to a certain, and that's like I say to you, I'm always fighting. And that's another thing that I'm fighting for, because brands and agencies, they don't understand. They don't understand. To pick someone for a campaign, there's a whole thing. There has to be a strategy. You know, there was a point where I was working on 35 influencer campaigns with probably a total of 150 influencers. Do you know what I'm saying? And each influencer I chose was intentional, whether they had big numbers or they were still on the come up. And I always want to include guys on the come up, which the app has helped me do, because they bid for things like, yo, I'm keen to do this, I'm keen to do that, and I check them out. You know what I'm saying? So you say, okay, here's what I'm willing to take in terms of money to be part of this campaign. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Here's the brief. Here's what I'm looking for. Mood board. Because I also like quality content. Before it goes to my client for approval, I've already vetted. I'm like, nope, it's ugly. You know? Do you know what I'm saying? Because it is your job. And if you're going to grow in that space, then you have to take it seriously.
And it's not just about collecting a check, because sometimes that's what it looks like.
Because you know what happens then? Now when I go into your page and I've got R1 million that I need to spend on just 2 people, and I look at your page, everything from tissue, pads, eyeliner, shampoo, cars, burgers. I'm like, I don't know who you are then. So I cannot pick you.
Tell me something when you say that, because I feel like maybe I could challenge it a bit, and I want to, just so I could get a better understanding. Even with you in the bio, it's you have a lot of hats that you wear. You know, so if I can accept that from you, and you know that you are like authentically all those things yourself, how do we then sideline a person from being as diverse as they are? Maybe it's the authenticity again. It's the authenticity.
Can I answer you? I do 2 things.
Yeah.
From my bio, there's 2 things you need to pick up. I'm a marketing expert and I'm an activist.
Sure.
That's it.
Showcase.
It's just, I could have written those 2 lines, but I needed to, that's what you get from my bio.
Yeah.
I'm influential, I'm this, they're all byproducts of that.
Got you.
But even when you look at my page, it says that. And I love luxury. I mean,
I got you.
That goes without saying. But that's what it is. So if you can't be a jack of all trades and a master of none. Yeah. It's not, it's like, it doesn't make sense. I'm not going to give you that check.
I understand. I fully understand.
Yeah.
And I wanted to also add, when you talked about brands, I mean, we have mentioned brands here. And I just also want to just talk about the brand that I'm working with right now, which is Hennessy.
Yeah.
The love that and the understanding of that to get that kind of deal. And I don't have that many numbers, but every number that I have is really like something, you know? And I like the fact that you mentioned the numbers thing, because when I deal with a lot of things here at home, it's all about how things look and not how things feel.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
So now I would have chosen you for Hennessy, for instance. Let me start with that. Before the followers don't matter.
Yeah.
Reach and engagement. That's what matters. How many people interact with your post, how many people, you commenting, those are the things that matter. But again, brand managers and agencies don't think about that. They just want someone with high numbers, right? Even if you had, let's say 3,000 followers, I'd still pick you because it's a brand that speaks and connects with you. You and the brand make sense. It's a hip hop drink, like the park. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a natural connection.
Yeah, no
shout outs. I'll even pick you over someone who has 1.5 million followers, because you're authentic to the brand, what the brand stands for, where the brand is going, and what the brand is trying to do.
You know what the thing about the numbers? I'm like amazed and proud of people that can have millions of followers. Obviously, especially if they're also not musicians. So I get that part of it. The other part of it is, it's like when you have so many people, I get scared of people being able to tell me what to be. And sometimes having a lot of numbers, you are so subject to that masses, to that market of yours, that you have to be whatever they want you to be.
Yeah.
And they feel like they own you,
I mean, that's just pressure you put on yourself.
Yeah.
That you didn't beg them to follow you. They followed you because they wanted to follow you.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to be part of your evolution or your growth or your path that you're trying to take, then they can unfollow you. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't put pressure on yourself to be something that people want you to be or think you are. Just be you.
But what happens is, like, with social media, they feel like apela. So Latina, you know what I mean? But I know you got a point. I was just speaking about the double-edged sword and things,
But you know what it is? Because social media has given people access to people that they normally wouldn't.
Yeah.
So a lot of people also use it as a platform for bullying and just speaking bullshit. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
So if I have time on my hands, And then I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to block you. I want you to still keep following because they won't unfollow you after that.
Yeah, they won't.
Trust me. I don't block people. On an ancestral level.
Wow.
And then say sharp.
I
And
don't know
then
if I
we
could bomb
carry
that
on.
or whatever.
You
Like,
can.
It's like not cool. It's not cool. People are bullies. They're sitting there in their call center job using free Wi-Fi to come and tell you, a hardworking nigga who wakes up at 6 a.m., gets home at midnight,
no
yeah,
disrespect
You
to
know
the
what I'm
real
saying?
call
Yeah.
center agents
No,
out
but
there.
do you know what I'm saying? It's always like,
I feel what you're saying.
you
No.
understand?
Yeah.
Thank
But I was actually about to jump into that now as well, was to kind of say, obviously things have kind of changed dramatically from how we would work from a brand alignment perspective, because I mean, brand campaigns are not something that happened yesterday. They've been happening for centuries. But obviously things are now changing from an internet scope where people are now prioritizing numbers over prioritizing brand fit and things like that, and having to work with people and doing people PR compared to brand PR. What are some of the things that you take away and say, okay, this is why I'm still in the game, even though things are kind of changing somewhat for the worse, because social media is, it's an ugly place.
Slippery slope.
I'm in this game because, and this is what I tell every young person that tries to get into this, because I love it. You have to love it or else you will
Straight
not
up.
last.
Straight up.
It's brutal. Like you get dragged through like it's hectic. It's hectic. So I'm doing this because I love it. And in loving it, I understand that things evolve, they pivot, it's growth. It's inevitable. So I need to choose, or am I going to roll with those punches and still find ways to make positive change? Or am I just going to sit there and be like print media waiting to die?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it because I love it so much, and because I put so much time and research and reading and watching and learning, and I'm not scared to ask questions. I'm not scared to call people who've been doing it longer than me and ask questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? What do you think of this? Can you have a look at my strategy?
I think that's the
do you know what I
thing.
mean?
Like, it's very important to still ask for help. I think a lot of people still get too scared. It's like you reach a certain level and then you feel like, saying lento. I don't need help.
thing.
You know what I
You know
mean?
what the thing is? It's like I was telling someone the other day, PR needs a succession plan. I can't be the best at lifestyle and entertainment PR forever. It's just ridiculous.
The best. Say it again.
I cannot always be the best, the best.
The best.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would love, I go out. I used to go out a lot because I want to
Yeah,
see.
you used to, yeah.
You know, I want to see, I want to learn, I want to meet people. I want to I don't want to do that right now.
I feel you.
So who is that person that I can mentor and say, yo,
Hit the streets.
you go and listen to Bo Mang Mang Bami. I can't.
So
I'm busy
where
now
can they
on
hit you up for that?
Lerato Licious. But next year.
So
Vacation. Yeah.
Holidaying it out.
We've spoken about the brand agency and all sorts of side of things. And what I want to ask you now is from the artist's point of view, from your vantage point, when you look at, okay, we've looked at the brands, now we're looking at the artist side.
Yeah.
What are the things that artists do well and artists don't do well when it comes to their PR or when it comes to their brand engagements?
I think what it is that artists don't understand that you need a team, to be honest. You know, your manager cannot do everything. Because again, he means he's a master of nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to have your manager. You have to have a bookings agent. You have to have someone who manages your brand, whose job it is to go out there to brands and sell you. Your manager can't do that. Because
Will we be
there's no
talking
time.
about people that have been getting money right now, or you'll start that from the bottom up? You build it from the bottom up.
Build it from the bottom up, because those are the people who know you best, and then grow together. It's not, again, it goes back to phoning people. I don't know how to do this. Can you perhaps, how do I, you have to grow together and start from the bottom, because then you'll understand what my brand is a machine. There's someone doing, because an artist's job is just to make music. That's what I think. Their job, that's the only thing they need to worry about. Inspiration, good music. You can't worry about, so it's at the bookings, you need to phone Bramang Mangwa transport.
It just doesn't
It's
work.
distracting. It's
It is
distracting from the
distracting.
craft.
You are right. I mean, obviously, we're also finding ourselves that we've spoken about this a couple of times on the POPcast as well as on Pop Radio. When it comes to sometimes, again, back to social media, because unfortunately, this is the day and age
Yeah.
that we're in right now. A lot of people are overnight successes. A lot of people are shooting the lights out with how they are just getting this overnight fame. Nothing wrong with it. I think it's really great that we've got a different platform for people to recognize talent. I love it so much. But then now we get to a point where people are overnight successes, but then they're making very public media blunders. And we speak about needing media training, and this thing is very necessary for artists so they know how to speak well, how to present themselves well, how to
Yeah.
do 1, 2, 3. But somebody who wakes up and they're a superstar in 2 days doesn't know where to get this media training and how to kind of collect themselves. They're just thinking, oh, I'm now 1
Yeah.
million strong.
Yeah.
What are your suggestions with regards to getting themselves to that place where they can still have longevity in their careers without having to die after 6 months because they didn't carry themselves correctly?
The thing is, I think a lot of new artists don't even care about carrying themselves correctly. They
Sure.
just behave in a way that they think they're rock stars, that, you can say whatever and do whatever without consequences. So unless if you know that there's a certain way that you need to conduct yourself, especially publicly, then you're just going to be that rock star that eventually, I promise you will not last in the game. You absolutely will not last. Media training is one of the most important things anyone can do for themselves, regardless of age, whether you're starting from the bottom or you're here. It's very, 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 very important, because you'll be sitting in interviews and they will ask you the most uncomfortable question.
For sure.
The most
Me especially.
and you can't be like, no comment. No comment is a comment. Because now we want to know, now
Why?
we're going to dig deeper.
Now we're gonna
Do
say,
know what I'm
why are
saying?
you not
have to-
commenting?
You have to be agile. You have to know. Trust like questions that are like personal questions. But because I've had media training almost a decade and a half ago, I already know what I'm willing to answer and the things I'm not willing to answer, how I go about answering that.
Yeah, it's very important. I think, especially because, like I said, there's a lot that's happening now. I mean, piano's like a huge wave that's coming through now. We've got like a whole host of like brand new artists who don't necessarily know which direction they're taking. People are saying the wrong things. They're doing the wrong things. Tweeting the wrong things, and even getting to a point where people's careers are now dying because they're saying the wrong thing and they're tweeting on emotion. How do you get around that? Because maybe, let's say somebody's tweeting at 1 a.m, and then when you're Vuga as the PR manager and you're like, Manja, you've undone all of my work.
Go phone like your roja. That's the first thing. That's the first thing, because I won't censor you. I'm just saying, think before you do that. That's all. Just think. Or when you read that tweet tomorrow morning, are you still going to stand by it? If the answer is yes, then let's go. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's nothing like racist, all those really nasty things. But if you can stand by it in the morning, then we're going to have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the artist also needs to respect me and the amount of work I put into them and building a public profile, because that's what PR is.
Yeah.
It's what public perception of you is. And that public perception is what brands buy into. It's what event organizers buy into. It's what, all those things. It's like an example I make with like Jabba. Publicly loved, 2 decades. Publicly loved. Yes, he had his rants, he had whatever, but his public, value and who he really was and who people really believed he was and who he was amongst the people was like squeaky clean. Squeaky clean. But on the flip side, there's people who he helped grow who are the opposite. They're just out here wilding, doing all types of things that are just like cringy.
Why are you looking at me?
What do you mean? What happened?
Scoop's eyes.
But you know what I'm saying?
Keep
so
off.
the public... So, it's important. It's important.
I was gonna talk about when you were saying that we need the booking agents to diversify the team.
Yes.
And I believe you're right. And what always captures me, and that's why I asked, is it for established artists that can afford these people, or is it also you think that people can build from the ground up with these people? And ekhaya apha eMzansi, abantu always go, no, you gotta pay me. And I get that. When I watch a lot of stuff from overseas, it's so surprising to me how the relationships of maybe like a Chance the Rapper, and how he met the dude that propelled him. Yeah. Because he didn't know, he was just a good rapper. This white boy, long-haired dude, was studying, and he just went to him and said, yo, man, like, I think I can do something for you, you know? And they worked together. The money was only a conversation way later when they made it, you know? Yeah. And there's so many different examples of artists, I can't think on the top of my head right now, of those guys that came to artists because ababandu can see, like, yo, Mtsoembo. And even though I'm not an entertainment lawyer, even though I'm not a marketer, I've got maybe, I'm a promoter. You know, exactly. I could actually really help you because I've seen so many people on stage, and I'm seeing you. Yeah. And I think with my connections as a promoter, I can go up a next level to be an artist manager. Yes. But the initiation from people doesn't happen. Yeah. You know, and I guess maybe sometimes they are scared of artists rejecting them, artists feeling like, no, what have you done? There's also that side of things. Yeah. But I was just trying to really highlight the fact that I think it's time for people who are on the outside of the artist, watching the artist. If you're dope at clothing and you know you can style and you know there's this artist who could get up, send that DM, you know? Yeah. If you make dope clothes and you want to put them on someone, send that DM. Let's have this culture of being okay to get rejected.
Because the answer will always be no until you ask.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? You have to ask. You have to ask. And, you know, the thing about here in SA is that everybody just wants money. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. Everyone here is like, yo, I'm hungry. I've got you know, it's just really, 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 really that bad. And a lot of people don't, because when you invest your time, it's like investing money, because time is money. You know what I'm saying? Time is money. So if I see you and I'm like, yo, let's do something, I have to understand that now, as not mine, but trust me, a year from now,
we'll be popping.
We'll be elsewhere, you know? And I just think the only way the industry is really going to grow is for more up-and-coming people to come in.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? Like, fresh ideas. You can't have the same managers, the same PR people, same... Like, for me, it's even exhausting witnessing it. Or like, how khathale at an event, go altitude. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be a young, or at least take that person along with you. Yeah. You know, and say, no, just watch someone. There's a lot of people that are willing to intern. I can tell you that for free. Yeah. A lot of people that are willing to intern.
I actually wanted to ask you if you're still working with any artists right now, because I know you're very focused on brand management, but which artists are you still working with?
None.
Why?
Because I'm good. Huh? Because I'm good.
Yes.
I paid my dues, I'm done.
I feel
and also they can't afford my hourly rate.
Woo!
Right now.
Also that, you know, that percentage of a whole.
Oh, yesterday's price is not today's price.
Say that again, Kazi.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Exactly.
Let's go on to the activism side of things. What made you get into the space? And also, I was very surprised to find out that you were mentored by Zinzi Mandela. Ne? How did that relationship develop? What made you want to get into the space? And this is an obvious question, but I just want you to put it in your words.
I think it really started when I went into Big Brother, and just the I don't want to say hate, but the negativity that was spewed towards me because I'm not a typical African woman.
I remember that.
Modern.
Really? What happened?
Yeah, people were just mean. Like,
it was also at the brink of social media. I think it was at the point when Twitter was literally just like starting up, and
Facebook is at its peak.
Exactly. And I think it was just, you know, when people were just tweeting out of their asses, not even bothering to think about consequences, not thinking about how they're hurting other people's feelings. They were just going wild. And I remember Lerato being in there, and obviously she's fighting for herself because she's like, yo, I want to win this thing. I'm here now. And obviously coming out, I think it also boils down to how other reality shows have kind of been put together, where now if you're going to go on a Love Island, or you're going to go on a Temptation Island or a Big Brother, you literally have to go into like a whole psychotherapy session before they put you in, because when you get out, everybody is on top of you
Yeah.
because of how
And in your
brutal social media
business.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it was just like, I still came out and I stuck to my guns. So, guys, I am a modern African woman. Emphasis on the word modern. We evolve, we grow. Like, we've got careers. I don't need a man to go with me to buy a house. I can do that myself. So y'all need to get with the program. And that's sort of where it started.
I also just wanted to ask before we close off, what's your fondest memory with Jabba? Sorry, I know that's a left turn. I know it's a left turn, but
Honestly,
like one of those moments where you look back, you're like, oh man,
and this is what I think about all the time. So it was my birthday, I think 2015. And we were like, okay, let's go somewhere. And like, okay, cool, let's go to Amsterdam. And I'm like, yeah, I want to check out the red light district. Boom, smoke trees, have a good time, whatever. And then we go there. Obviously, first thing we do, find a coffee shop, stock up on every type of everything you can find. And he had said to me, like, in 2 days' time, let's just take a train to Paris, go check Paris out for like 2 days, and then we'll come back. And then it was foggy. I'm like, I'm not going to go to Paris for the first time and not see the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
Like, let's forget that. Had a massive fight, but then got stoned and sort of moved on. The day before we left, we're like riding around, going to see things. I obviously want to go to the red light district. He's like, no, whatever. And he looked ill. He looked sick. He was like sweating. Like, I'm like, yo, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, well, we've got travel insurance. Let me take you to, and he's like, no, I'm fine, whatever. Takes me to the red light district. It was great. Actually, it wasn't great. It was very traumatic. So we found a bar and sat in there, and I'm busy ordering drinks. And then I turn around, and this guy has the most beautiful diamond ring ever. You understand? Like the most beautiful. And I'm like, the fuck are you doing? Like, that's what I like. Don't forget, we've been smoking.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the fuck? What are you doing? And then we got engaged that day. And then I think we smoked so much that I don't even know how we got home. I really don't know. And I said to him, like, well, thank God my nails are done. Because, like, that was like my favorite moment.
Wow.
Because it was very us. It was very, like, and that's why he was sick, because he's walking around with this diamond in his pocket waiting for
a lump in his
the
throat.
moment. He thought it was going to happen in Paris, but I was like that hand, like, But yeah,
that's a beautiful story.
I love it because it's not pretentious.
Yeah.
It literally is just you guys doing what you do.
Yeah.
And and for him to be nervous as much as he was, Shem.
It's a beautiful story.
Oof, never. Like, I'm like, and then after that, I'm thinking, you've performed in front of hundreds of thousands of people. I've never seen you nervous, but that was nerve-wracking for him, because I think he thought, what if she says no? What if she has the ring? Ugh. But yeah, that's my favorite moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing like it puts you back to like ground level, like Utando Sbali.
Nah,
Well, yeah,
and it was Tandana.
You gotta know that, you know what I mean? No matter how confident nigga might be on stage. How was your family during this situation? Talk to me about that. I don't even have to, the question is enough.
They were so broken because they loved Jabu so much. My family, I don't think there's anyone in my family who's ever called him Jeba or WHP, Jabulani. And my mom would always say his name in full, like, so he was at home. Like, I'd be out of town, he'd drive to my mom's house, and they just hang the whole day. They'll send me a picture like, hey, we vibing, whatever.
Oh, wow.
Like, that's the kind, especially with my mom, they were so close. And, that first court date we went to, and we thought we were just going to get in the door. We didn't expect like Paris Hilton type of cameras. Like, it was just too much, And when we sat in the court and we were listening to this white lawyer dissect my marriage and all the things that we needed to do, she was livid. And I wanted to say to this guy, Ulehua, why are you even fucking talking on things you would never know anything about? Which is then what they told him. One of the judges, because it was a panel of like 6 at the Supreme Court of Appeals, they're like, but you can't tell us what we do in our culture because
you're
bro,
white.
you'll never ever understand, So it was my family was, and I think, my aunt that was closest to Jabu, I think she passed away exactly 30 days after Jabu, but I think she died from a broken heart, to be honest. I think she really, really died from a broken heart.
I feel you. It's just
Mas khulumeng is just happy.
we're going to the games.
So yeah.
I wanted to ask one last question, obviously, because we need to get into games and just wrap it up a bit. Speaking to your relationship, obviously, with Jabba and the legend that he was, over and above Jabba, the many legends that you worked with in the past, the Hugh Masekelas of the world, how do you think as a country we can maintain the memory of these legends? Because sometimes I think it's important for us to still keep these stories for young people to learn from. I mean, people who know will know that, for instance, like Jabba was one of the first rappers to make $1 million in South Africa, to have billboards, brand deals, things like that, which is important for hip hop culture. But sometimes those stories get lost. Someone like Hugh Masekela, yes, we know him as South Africans, but 10 years from now, are they still going to understand who he was? So from a brand PR perspective, over and above your personal relationship with Jabba?
I think just looking at legends as a whole, first of all, I think the Department of Arts and Culture, whose mandate should be to look after our icons and their legacy.
Thank you.
Right? It is their mandate, not throw festivals for bullshit. Those are the things that matter. And unfortunately, even from the families of that are left behind, a lot of them don't have the knowledge or the expertise or even the know-how on what they themselves can do to preserve that legacy, because no one else is coming to them and say, here's how we can help you.
And still
here's
earn
what
from
we
it.
know.
Not just
fully.
preserve, but still
you know
earn
what I'm
as
saying?
well.
Because for me, I mean, Jabu Naliliano, my stepson, it is important for him, to understand the magnitude of the man that his father was, number one. Number two, I need to ensure that his father's legacy and catalog keeps him going the rest of his life. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not interested in the money. I don't need the money. I work. That's why I work. It's important, for me, it's also important to protect, because it is the most valuable catalog in the history of South African hip hop. There's no arguing about that. I can literally take that catalog anywhere in the world. But that's because I have the know-how. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I think about like my other friends that have passed, Flaba, you know what I'm saying? I try and do as much as I can, especially with their families, because the family needs to understand when they come to you and they're saying they want this, they want that, here's what it means, because not everyone's going to be honest with them. Do you know what I mean? So, man, like if I could, I would take care of everyone's legacy.
That was a very good question, my nigga.
I really, because you can't, we don't even give people their flowers while they're alive.
Straight up.
Do you think they're going to care when they're not here?
Quickly, yes or no, would you get into politics, as in take a seat at the Department of Arts and Culture?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Let's get into the games.
We're going to get Lerato a job. Yes. All right. We're going to get into some games just to get a little bit lighthearted before we close off the interview. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions.
Yes, sweetie.
Okay. Some names. And because you are who you are, you should know these people's names by ID. Because...
I don't be remembering things.
Yeah, this is a tough one. This game is really tough, but it's nice also.
But why
we do it to everybody. So trust me.
Not just you.
Not yeah. And Scoops can help you as well, because he also doesn't know what's on my phone. All right. So I'm gonna give you the ID name. You must give me the artist name.
I barely know their artist names.
All right. This one's easy. Lesego Nkaiseng.
Speedster.
Yes. You were a little confused there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I've got another Lesego coming through. Lesego Moelua. Ooh, I'm saying it wrong. Moelua, right? Am I pronouncing it right?
Give us some clues.
He's a Lesego. He's from Pretoria.
Black Les.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Dope.
All right. I've got another Lesego coming through. This one's from the Dirty East. Lesego Kyle Nyandu.
Rapper.
Yeah. New school.
I didn't know.
The East Rand. New school East Rand rappers.
He's from the East, and then he spent some time in Pretoria also.
It's not Flame.
Yeah, it is.
I don't even know who Flame is.
For real! Blasphemous!
I'm honest, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get his album right now.
Flame is dope. If there's someone who needs someone like you in their team, it's definitely Flame.
And Flame is so talented.
He's fucking talented, yeah. And he has a persona.
Flame.
Yeah.
Oh,
At Lerato Licious.
Please.
Yeah.
Like-
He definitely needs someone like you in the.
I'm
in
definitely gonna check him out.
the
You know that raw talent that just needs the right person to take him
Polishing
to the
fed,
next.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then the last one, Temba Sunny Boy Seko.
Hey, you ain't a Sunny Boy.
Seko, sorry.
Where's he from?
Pitur.
What is this?
Genre of music?
Everything.
Hip hop. We thought like
No,
what is this? The old
He does everything.
And it's from Pretoria.
He's from Pretoria.
Sunny Boy.
Yeah. Temba Sunny Boy Seko.
What actor?
No, he's a
What
musician.
winner?
He's a
What
musician.
DJ, yeah?
He's a musician, and he does every genre. That should be an answer, guys. Come on.
Not Maporisa.
There you go.
Kiss Sunny Boy. Kiss Sunny Boy. Wow, not Sunny Boy.
Sunny Boy.
Do
Temba.
it. And I see him in I think we live in the same hood. What is Sunny? I'm gonna hit him with one of those. I swear. Sunny
Now
Boy.
that you actually say he does look very sunny.
Don't do that.
Shout outs to Pori. Love you to bits, my nigga.
Too much,
Love
too
you
much,
to
too
bits.
much, too much.
But you did throw me away when you said every genre, but I had to like throw in something there. But
Yeah.
he does do every genre.
does.
That's why I couldn't just say piano because
Yeah,
that's the genre
it
for
does.
today. But he been doing everything else.
Yeah.
It would be amazing to get you on Pop Radio, DJ Maporis. I would really appreciate that. We know that
Lord Puri.
it's Lord Pori. Matumane.
Matumane.
We also have to decide who we are interviewing on that day. Is it Pori? Is it Lord Pori?
It's all
is
of
it
them.
Maporisa?
The Scorpion
Matumane?
King. One of the-
Scorpion
one-
Kings? Which
never
one?
He'll
know.
have an outfit change for each segment.
Black boy
And you know
music.
he will. And the
Exactly.
diamonds will also.
Yes, and the
Uh,
scarf.
Wabona.
Nah, man. Shout outs to everything that
Wardrobe
is done.
change.
Shout outs to everything. But no, we're not done with the games though.
Oh, okay. Well, we've
Are
got
there
the
more?
yes, we've got.
Do you have any drinking games? No.
No,
Unfortunately not. You have to go see La Caesar for that.
All right, so you've got some terms on the phone, and you've got 30 seconds to break it down to us, and we have to guess what's on there.
It's 30 seconds. You have very much friends that like to go out. You guys love having prize and parties.
Yeah.
You've played 30 seconds before.
I've played-
So, but now it's better when
Yes.
Silona.
Okay, cool.
Okay, wait, and go.
Okay, the TV channel you used to work at.
Vuzu.
One of Jabba's songs they played every June 16.
Harambe.
Where we at right now? What's this place called?
Rosebank.
Rose-
No,
Bank.
this particular.
Montana.
That's right. K.O.
Tear gas.
No, the song is K.O. Who's the other guy? Yanga and Keenan?
Run Josie.
Done.
Hey.
I know that's right.
Oh,
And we need a
yes.
ball. And we need a horn.
Thank you.
Was that our first flawless one?
Flawless
You also
before
did a
time.
great job. So,
Before
but I think
time.
30 seconds, guys, in phone and Kim.
yeah,
Blind.
I know.
Except the sports guys. I never know.
You never know the sports guys.
I think you need.
Simple
I think you need
Kumalo.
to. You probably need to do PR with a sportsman, and then you'll figure it out.
Bow West, bow. Yo. Yeah.
So what's next for you now? What is it looming in the future of these COVID times? How has this affected the work? How have you you know what I mean? What's next? What's the next
To be
frontier for
honest,
you?
I'd love to just chill for a bit.
I hear you on that.
Honest, like,
I
it's
hear
just
you on
been
that.
A really crazy couple of years, and I'm tired. You know, I'd really love to chill. Actually. Like,
And just
Don't
go on
have to
holiday,
go,
because that's your thing.
Yeah.
Vacationing
She loves
is Lerato's
traveling.
thing.
like.
You
So
know?
I've been trapped. I'm like, but I mean, even if we can't leave, I think that's a great time for me to explore SA.
Yeah.
There's so many places that I haven't been to. And I'm sad that like the other day, I thought on like a Saturday, I was going to go to the Apartheid Museum and it's closed down.
closed.
They closed it, bro.
Like,
They couldn't
I mean,
afford
like,
to keep it up.
Legacy
Why?
closed.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Arts
Why?
and
It's
culture.
like, why is Mandela's house turned into a B&B? Why would you want to go sleep in Tata's bed? Like, why? Why want arts and culture? Full of shit.
But we're gonna get you a job, girl. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it. We got you.
As long as it's an imad in the project, as long as all this whole bullshit.
Straight up.
Please.
Excuse my language. I'm not.
So I love
okay,
it. I
girl.
love it. I love it. I do love swearing, and I'm glad that a lady's right next to me, like swearing more than me. Yeah, cool. Thank you so much.
Profanity's my thing.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming through.
Thanks for having
Really
me,
appreciate the time and every place you took us to, whether it was success, whether it was the low points, whether it was new viewpoints. Really appreciate that, Ellen. Yeah, there's so much that you have to offer to this country and its society. So shout outs to you, man. Really proud of you. I did not, we always meet each other and we always like talk when we're out and we always like having fun, but I've never gotten this deep with you.
Yeah.
I've never gotten to know you on this level, and I've known you for quite some time.
Yeah.
And I'm just really, really, I'm proud of the person that I've kind of like known for such a long time and been around, and to know the caliber of woman that you are so late. I'm really, really like happy and ecstatic.
I feel really, really, really blessed. Like I said, I know what rock bottom is, but I'm about to know what the high highs are about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, earlier you said that we mentioned that my mentor, Nelly Zinzi Mandela, and she really taught me so much about the low lows and the high highs. Like that's just like, she was such a blessing in my life for years, for the longest time. And she was just like, the stormy days don't last forever.
Yeah.
It's not possible. It is humanly not possible. We don't serve Mudimu Badimu that just want you to be tortured.
Thank you so much.
100%. Thank you so much for your time, Lerato.
I like his pandla. Damn, girl. Like, what is
know
like?
it. You
Yes,
know
it's
it.
Yo, I know.
It's not one. There's three here.
Yeah. You know it.
I'm dealing with a lot of
No, I
problems
get it.
that I'm
I get
fixing.
it.
Sure.
Lunisa.
Because a lot of people have been seeing them, and they're like, "How?" And then what's going? I'm fixing my life.
Yeah,
that's all you. That's all
They
you
should
need to
know what
That's
time
it.
it is anyway.
Exactly. But thank you for coming
Thanks for
through.
having me,
It's always
guys.
great to chat to you. I mean, every time we see each other, it's always smiles, it's always hugs, it's always beautiful vibes. And I think it's awesome that our viewers also got to get a little bit of you outside of we knowing you personally, but also just understanding you as a person.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot that happens social media wise that isn't necessarily spoken from a personal perspective. So I'm glad we got to get that today.
Thank you so much.
Having me.
So
Shout outs to you.
bona next week buffet ngosi kakhulu for your viewership, and like, comment and subscribe. Yo, every time I watch a YouTube video, I fucking hate those lines cuz everybody got to say them.
Because
You
you
have
have
to.
to. I get
Oh
it.
my
It
God.
goes back to what? The numbers.
Yes,
You see,
everybody.
so when we call you for a brand, what we want to see. Like,
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
That's
And
right.
add a
That's
comment that will help us.
Bye.
Game over.